I'd entertain a motion to approve the letter on page 20 and 21, supporting the nomination of Martha Williams.
So moved.
Motion by Martin, second by Ellie. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? Mike abstains, motion carries. Two abstentions, Carol and Mike. Okay, next letter. Entertain a motion to submit the letter of support for a nomination of Charles F. Sams III as Director of the National Park Service. Motion by Anita. Second by Martin. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain. Mike abstains. Lynn, I'm sorry I didn't get your vote.
No, I support.
Okay, motion carries with one abstention, Mike. Okay, the next item is the seat for the vacant St. Ignatius District seat. Right, Carol? We put out an announcement till Friday requesting letters of interest, which will need to qualify under the election rules. Okay, we have a motion by Carol. Second by Mike, and that's to use all means possible. That's to use all means possible, social media, whatever it takes. Okay, second by Mike. Question? All those in favor? Opposed? Bing and myself are opposed. Motion carries. Okay, is there anything else for the morning agenda?
Madam Chair,
Go ahead, Ryan.
Rhonda and I have something that I think we could take care of quickly and then wouldn't burden your afternoon if you'd like. We sent over the compensation scenarios for the Water Management Board positions. If you'd like to talk about that now, we'd be prepared to do that, or else we can take it up after lunch.
Okay, do we need this in executive or open?
I think it could be an open, but it's entirely up to you.
Okay. There's no objection. We'll keep it in open. The information was emailed to us at 9:45 a.m. if you want to check your emails.
So just by way of background, as you all know, the compact establishes a water management board to regulate water administration on the reservation. It will consist of 5 members, 2 of which are appointed by the tribal council, 2 of which are appointed by the governor, and then a 5th member who's appointed by the other 4 appointees of the water management board. The compact does not specifically establish compensation for the board members, nor does it require the state and within the tribe to have identical or similar compensation schedules. But we have had some discussions at the staff level with the state of Montana through the DNRC and the governor's office staff, and they have inquired about whether it would be appropriate for us to have sort of commensurate compensation schedules between both state and tribal appointees. Certainly make compensation of the fifth board member a little easier if we aren't averaging the rates. And so what the state has done is gone through and looked at the budget that they proposed in the last legislative session, which is their budget for the current biennium. And they believe that within their budget, they have the ability to compensate board members fairly easily in the range of $150 to $175 per day for any meeting that people attend. And then the schedule I sent you, or the table that I sent you, sort of gives the rough totals of what that would look like, assuming a situation where the Water Management Board met weekly 52 times in 1 year. The tribal share would be half of what's listed in the table. So, for example, the first scenario, $150 a day is roughly a $13,000 commitment. Then in the notes below, it also assumes that if there were a situation where board members would be required to stay for 2 days and they live, farther distances than they can than is appropriate for them to drive for a 2-day meeting. The state has run some basic numbers for hotel and lodging, as well as some basic numbers for mileage, making some assumptions based on how far the various board members might live from the reservation. I think much of that is pretty nominal for the folks that you have. So as I understand, Rhonda put together the packet, and personnel has advertised for the position, and you do have some applicants for the position, and looking forward to personnel getting that to the council for consideration. But in the meantime, wanted to get back to the state with the council's views on what an appropriate level of compensation for water management board members would be. I think Rhonda and I think that the range between $150 and $175 a day would be appropriate, and should ensure that the council is able to attract quality candidates for the positions, and compensate them fairly for the time commitments that they may have for the work that they'll be doing going forward. So at this point, I don't think the council needs to take any formal action. What we'd like to do is at least let the state know what the council was thinking on this front, and if the council in particular is interested in compensating the water management board members at a much higher rate than the 175, then we would want to go back to the state so that they could go back and look at their budgets and see if they have any capacity to find additional resources to pay a higher rate. But if you're comfortable in this range, then I think we're pretty good to go, and the formalities can happen later. Rhonda, anything left out on that you want to add?
No, I don't have anything additionally, except that personnel hasn't processed those letters of interest yet. There are 3 applicants. They're all tribal members, but they just haven't processed that. Thank you.
So we have 3 applicants for the 2 positions? Okay. Okay, any thoughts on the compensation scenarios?
I like the 150 to 175 amounts. I think it's very usable, and I would support the higher amount.
I'm taking your silence as a consensus. If there's any objections. Okay, so if you want to go with that, Ryan, back to the state.
We will do that. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. All right. Anything else, Rhonda?
Madam Chair, we have a full agenda for 1 o'clock. I would like to say, just in advance, so you can relax a little bit. I know these are crazy times, but you do not have to comply with the federal contractor mandate to vaccinate all your employees, and I will explain later this afternoon about what you can do.
Okay, we will see you back at 1 o'clock. Thank you. Okay, we will adjourn for